I can't. I can't. Calm down. Calm down, brother.
Come to the fight. Come to the fight.
They probably gonna get you f***ed up.
Because Lamont Roach can fight, and he thinks he's going to see the better Gervonta Davis, come out this time. I certainly hope we do.
Gervonta Davis isn't just promising a comeback, he's putting his money where his mouth is. With a bold $5 million bet riding on a knockout, Davis has flat out dismissed any talk of Lamont Roach pulling off another upset. He's not entertaining the idea of a close contest or another controversial decision. In his eyes, there will be no judges involved this time, only his fists deciding the outcome. It's pure confidence, rooted in the belief that Roach never stood a real chance to begin with, and the rematch will prove it beyond any doubt.
Beat his ass.
You can't do
for real. Man, be quiet.
I don't give a f***. Y'all was quiet. Y'all, if y'all was loud,
got the whole hood over there. Like, twist it up. I don't give a f*** about none of that.
I can do whatever y'all want. My mother, he can't stop nothing over here.
None of that.
Not at all.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna f*** him up.
Not at all. Never. Nothing's gonna get f***ed up over here. What do I look like getting f***ed up?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
That shit ain't never gonna stop nothing over here.
And he gonna pay for it. I guarantee
can't.
he pay for it.
I can't.
I guarantee it.
Calm down. Calm down, brother.
Come to the fight. Come to the fight.
They probably gonna get you f***ed up. Look, fool. Hey, fool. This me and you, fool. This me and you, fool.
Tank.
This me and you, fool. Don't worry about them. They might get you. They gonna trick you off your spot. They gonna trick you off your spot, fool. Don't worry about them.
Come on, stop. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know how I'm coming. Y'all know how I'm coming. So stop it. Y'all gonna make it hard for him. That's what y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna make it hard for him.
The buzz surrounding this rematch echoes the tension of Floyd Mayweather's first war with Marcos Maidana. Maidana had his moment, taking control during long stretches and sparking genuine belief he'd found Mayweather's blueprint. But in the rematch, Floyd made the necessary adjustments and neutralized every threat. The parallel with Davis and Roach is striking. Roach outshined Davis in their initial meeting, at least in the eyes of many, but now Davis has the benefit of hindsight. He's the kind of fighter who learns fast, and with a second opportunity, he's primed to flip the script and remind everyone why he was the favorite all along.
YouTube, we're back again with some more boxing news in the boxing world. Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach for the rematch is on the horizon. It will be happening this year, and it will be happening very, very soon. This is the thing, YouTube. If y'all agree with me on what I'm about to tell y'all, I want y'all to throw the thumbs up, because this is what's gonna happen. If y'all remember the Mayweather and Maidana match, where everybody thought Maidana beat Mayweather in the first match when they fought each other, like he dominated him, he beat him. Same thing goes here. Lamont Roach, everybody's saying that he dominated Gervonta Davis, but this is not going to happen in the rematch. Gervonta Davis is going to dominate Lamont Roach. If y'all agree with me on what I'm telling y'all, this is just like the Mayweather-Maidana fight. I'm trying to tell you. Lamont Roach is going to lose in the rematch, and that's a guarantee. That's not a prediction. That is a spoiler. If y'all agree with me, throw a thumbs up. And if you ain't got Eat Up Keeps the News, subscribe.
After the firestorm of controversy that followed the first fight, Gervonta Davis didn't just go back to the drawing board, he tore it down. Bringing in a new coach wasn't just about refining footwork or tightening up his defense, it was a full mental reset. The camp was restructured to remove distractions and reintroduce the discipline that some critics said had gone missing. Davis isn't preparing like someone hoping to edge out a win, he's preparing like a fighter on a mission to dominate. Every session, every round, every drill is designed to erase the mistakes that gave Roach an opening. This time, he's not just showing up, he's coming for total redemption.
Yo, what's going on, fight fans? Check it out. It looks like Gervonta Davis has a new coach. Now, this is Coach Mustafa. He's a well-known coach down in the Atlanta area, and it looks like he's starting to train with him. I know he has that upcoming rematch coming up. It looks like it's slated for June. Now, this coach is known for his working on timing, precision, accuracy. Those are some of the things that this coach is well known for. He's also been training Tevin Farmer for his past 2 fights. Now, what does this mean for Tank? Is he leaving Coach Kyle and Coach Kenny, or adding Coach Mustafa to the team? Is it smart to switch trainers so close to a fight? Let me know what y'all think down in the comments.
This isn't just a rematch, it's the most anticipated sequel in boxing this year. Lamont Roach is the only fighter in recent memory to make Gervonta Davis look vulnerable. Their first fight sparked a wildfire of debates. Was Roach the real deal, or did Davis just have an off night? The rematch will settle that. It's a defining moment for both men, with reputation, legacy, and pride hanging in the balance. Davis wants to prove the first bout was a fluke. Roach wants to prove it was a statement. No hype needed, their performances will do all the talking this time.
Promoter Gary Jonas shed some light on the negotiations for the rematch. While he didn't give too many details, Jonas did say that the second bout between Davis and Roach Jr. is all but finalized. Let's hear what he got to say right now.
Important question on everyone's mind: how close is the rematch? How big will it be? How close is it to getting done?
Very close. It's in my mind, it's a done deal, but there are formalities, but it's a done deal, and it's not far.
While Davis talks knockout bets and redemptive fire, Lamont Roach walks in silence, guided by humility and faith. He's not interested in theatrics or mind games. His approach is consistent: grind hard, stay grounded, and let the work speak. Even as the spotlight intensifies and the media buzz grows louder, Roach remains calm. There's no panic in his preparation. He believes in his training, trusts his team, and draws strength from something deeper than just competition. This is not just a physically ready fighter, it's a mentally and spiritually locked-in contender, unbothered by noise and unfazed by doubt.
Here with today,
Lamont Roach Jr.
I don't know who you are, man. What do you do for a living?
And I box.
How long have you been boxing for?
I've been boxing since I was 9 years old, so 20 years.
How old were you when you made your first million?
I was 29.
You made some money. What's the best piece of advice about money you've received throughout your career?
Save that money gonna save you.
Has there ever been one experience where you spent too much money than you thought you should have, that you regret?
That I regret? No, but there's been a lot of times where I shouldn't have spent as much money as I did.
Is there one piece of advice that now that you've been boxing for a couple years, you could tell your younger self about boxing?
My advice to my younger self would be keep going. You're gonna end up exactly where you're supposed to be at. As long as you work hard, put your faith in God, and you just keep pushing.
What made you really stand out as a boxer?
My hard work, determination to be the best.
Is there one boxer that you think inspires you the most with your play style?
I take bits and pieces from all boxers, even some of my opponents and stuff like that.
Anyone specifically?
No, not necessarily.
What keeps you motivated to keep pushing hard still?
It's definitely hard for me to give up because I know what's at stake. I know what can happen. I know what can happen with hard work. But if I ever feel like giving up, my motivation would be my son, my family, the ones who behind me 100%. They've been down at the bottom with me, so they coming up top with me.
Where can they find you on social media, man?
1of1X.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you, bro.
Trash talk, online debates, and heated interviews have made this rematch even more combustible, but when that bell rings, none of it matters. The ring doesn't care about opinions. It doesn't care about press conferences, hot takes, or fan predictions. All that matters is who can impose their will when it counts. This fight is where reputations will be either solidified or shattered. Every round will chip away at the myths, leaving only the truth. For both Davis and Roach, the rematch isn't just about winning, it's about silencing the noise forever. The better man will be revealed in the most honest way possible under the lights, with the world watching.
I want to know, when is the rematch going to happen at this point? Because I'm not going to lie, for it to be a whole month later and y'all still arguing over who actually won is just really like, okay, yeah, run it back, because we got to go ahead and settle this, squabble this up. I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to say neither fighter in here is shitty, okay? Because after the fight I seen on March 1st, yeah, they both was tagging shit, both getting up with each other, okay? I feel like this is the perfect match. If anybody's gonna do a rematch, we need to be down, period. And Gervonta was stinging him. I'm not gonna lie, he was stinging him. Great fight for him. But I'm not gonna lie, he came out knowing what he was trying to do. Y'all have to give it to him. Like, y'all just be hating, okay? Y'all can't get in the ring and fucking fight. Y'all just be hating. At least I'm giving him no day props, okay? Because Gervonta had a great fight. Don't get me wrong. My money was on him. But I think what messed him up was the fact that when he came out, y'all know he usually 2 steps ahead. He was 3 steps ahead. I feel like he already had Tank figured out. And he definitely was not expecting that. And him, on the other hand, I think he came in really having something to prove. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like, it was a really good fight, and I feel like this is how I see it. In the beginning of the fight, he was stinking, back to back, you know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the fight, that's when he finally kicked it up. But I seen consistency through him through the whole fight. I'm not gonna lie, like, so I just feel like the rematch should happen because you never know. He might, now that he was 3 steps ahead, become 8 steps ahead, and he might really knock his butt down. But at the end of the day, it's like, we need this rematch because I don't think this is ever gonna be a dispute that is settled and, you know, officially he won, he lost until they fight. Like, we gotta see.
Gervonta Davis is walking into this rematch with something to prove, and he's not shying away from the pressure. After being hit with doubt and criticism, Davis has turned that negativity into fuel. The whispers about his focus, his fire, and whether he's past his prime? He hears them. And he's using them. Training has become a war zone of intensity and precision. Every session is designed to close the gaps Lamont Roach exposed in their first clash. This isn't just about bouncing back, it's about making a statement so loud, no one questions him again. Davis doesn't just want to win, he wants to dominate and silence every critic with a performance that screams redemption.
Everybody really think Tank go take the L. I've been seeing it. They said it's over. They think that this time Lamont go in more confident, knowing that basically he can, really take it to Tank. Yeah, I want him to go in there confident. He's very skilled. Go in there confident. Because you gonna go up against a different Tank. Like I told y'all in previous videos. He gonna go in there confident, thinking he could walk Tank down. Don't forget, with Tank, if he can get you on that button, them lights going off, I don't care who you is. Remember how it ended up with Frank Martin? So yeah, don't go in there thinking that you going against like somebody that, like Ryan Garcia, somebody that's gonna fold. You going against Gervonta Tank Davis. And I think that confidence is what's gonna get Lamont dropped. Because one thing I will say, with Tank, that wasn't your best fight against Lamont, bro. I feel like you was in your head too much, you was overconfident, and you was really just, your mind was in y'all story, the lore and everything with y'all history. You ain't going there like, I'm fighting a stranger. You going there like, oh, this Lamont, this from the same camp, we from the same area. But now I think that whole situation woke him up. Because you got to think, Tank not used to losing. He not used to people being against him. He not used to being the one that like got to step back from the situation. That's why I think he's being hushed right now. Because when he come this time, it ain't no talking. And that's why I think it's scary, because we never see Tank in that mode where he don't say a word. I think this gonna be a different Tank. And what's crazy is Tank used to be like that in the beginning. Like when he was with Floyd, like I'm talking about Tank with the fade, with the waves, bro. He ain't used to be on that showboat and stuff until he got like, a little bit more in the boxing, thing. Of course, once you with Floyd, you're gonna start being flashy and doing backflips off the ring. But in his beginning stages, dude wasn't playing. He was dropping I think that's what he about to go to, bro. And we know that people like, man, did he take Calvin off his team? Nah, like he said, Calvin his boy. I think he's just rocking with somebody else right now to get him some sharper skills, to just change up his skill and what people know him by. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I think Tank will take it to Lamont. And that's not me being biased. I think we ain't never seen Tank like this before.
On the other side, Lamont Roach has kept his head down and his discipline razor sharp. There's no arrogance in his tone, just quiet intensity. He knows Gervonta Davis is still dangerous, maybe more dangerous than ever, and he's treating this bout like a fresh battlefield, not a continuation. Roach has been breaking down Davis's patterns, preparing for his improvements, and staying mentally locked in. Meanwhile, voices like Keyshawn Davis have stirred the pot, questioning whether Gervonta still has the same hunger. Is the fire still there? Does he crave this the way Roach clearly does? That emotional contrast may prove decisive. In boxing, it's not just fists, it's fire. And if Roach is burning brighter, that mental edge could tip the balance. You've got one fighter ascending and another trying to hold on. That tension makes the rematch must-see.
Do you think he wins that rematch with Lamont Roach?
I don't know, honestly. I really don't know. It's a 50-50 fight. It's a 50-50 fight. I don't know, honestly. I really don't know.
Does a lot of it hinge on Gervonta and like which version he shows up with? And no disrespect to Roach, but you know what I mean.
No, that is disrespect for the Roach, and like y'all fight fans gotta realize that is disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like he in there fighting another grown man that ain't going for none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And you don't think Roach is gonna come with another game plan or something better or this, that, and third? So when they had a rematch, are y'all still gonna say, oh, Take's still not his full self ever since he fought whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like Roach is a hell of a fighter. He proved he was a hell of a fighter, so he need to get that credit. He's a hell of a fighter. I don't know who's gonna win that rematch. I honestly feel like Tank is losing love for the sport, or he lost the love for the sport and he's no longer hungry anymore.
Well, that's what I was getting at.
Yet you got a guy that's just super hungry and never had no attention, now getting all his attention, and now he get around 2 of his attention. Is like, shit, that's kind of hard to beat. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Tank is still a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's 50-50. And to your point, we were saying, okay, he lost love of the sport. I don't really think Canelo got the same love he had for the sport when he was coming up.
To reinforce his resurgence, Gervonta Davis has brought in veteran trainer Kenny Ellis, a man known for his no-nonsense discipline and deep psychological approach. Under Ellis's guidance, Davis isn't just sharpening his skills, he's fortifying his mindset. Every round, every rep, is purpose-driven. The technical flaws from the last fight? Being dissected and corrected. The stamina issues? Being reprogrammed through grueling sessions. But most importantly, Ellis is helping Davis think like a champion again, composed, focused, and dangerous. The chemistry between them is already visible. This version of Davis isn't wild or reckless, it's refined, structured, and potentially lethal.
Trainers in boxing, second guy in the corner, is responsible for a lot of the real tactical decisions and tactical analysis that goes on in Gervonta Davis's corner. So you have Coach Calvin, and Coach Calvin is the head trainer, and you have Coach Kenny, who really specializes on preparing game plans specifically for opponents. So to have him talk about what's going on with Lamont Roach, I thought was interesting and insightful, because what he said was that, one, he's not falling for the okie doke. When Mill City asked him, hey, what do you think about the fact that, that Lamont Roach was seen at a basketball game chugging a beer? And I would have added to the question that you see Lamont Roach out giving a bunch of interviews, doing the interview circuit, right? Kind of being a little bit out of character leading into the rematch. Do you think, and this is what Mill City asked, do you think that is something you guys are taking in consideration in preparation for the fight? And what Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We know what Lamont Roach brings to the table, and he says that Lamont Roach is, we're not believing that he's out there drinking or blowing up a bunch of weight and all of that. He says what most people say, hey, we're going to prepare for the best version of Lamont Roach that is going to, that'll come for us. But the way that he saw the fight coming out was he said he sees it like the fight before. A lot of really crisp shots land.
That first fight exposed cracks in Gervonta Davis's armor that shocked fans. He looked slower, his gas tank faded early, and Roach capitalized. But now, Davis has a chance to rewrite that entire narrative. This rematch is his opportunity to prove that the sluggish version we saw wasn't the real him, it was an off night, not a fall from grace. And let's not forget, Davis didn't start the first fight poorly. He came out sharp, his combinations were crisp, his footwork clean, his timing precise. It was the stamina and focus that collapsed. Analysts like Jaron Ennis believe those opening rounds showed that Davis still has all the tools, it's just about sustaining it. If Davis can stretch that early dominance across 12 full rounds, Roach is going to face a whole new kind of storm.
Draw with Lamont Roach. People looking at it as controversial because of the whole knee. What'd you think of the fight?
It was a great fight. I had it 7-5 Tank, or you can make it the draw. But I feel like Lamont, he did good. He did a great job, actually. I just don't think he did enough to pull it off. And I feel like people was overlooking what Tank was doing in the first 5-6 rounds. He was boxing and frustrating him a little bit. But Lamont, like I said before, Lamont did a great job.
Yeah, some people had it Tank, some people had it draw, some people had it Lamont. Do you think Tank gets a lot of criticism for not knocking Lamont out and Lamont not being in big names, so they overblow it?
I think so, yeah, and I feel like people just don't like Tank to a point where any little thing, just because he ain't knock him out, he probably feel as though that he lost, and he didn't, or it was a draw, I feel like Tank was doing a lot of smart things in the beginning, moving a little bit too much, but I feel like he was still like frustrating him and things like that. And I think Tank did a good job. Like, he looked sharp than me. I don't know. People just be talking. At the end of the day, you can't please everybody.
Were you surprised that Lamont was in spots winning the exchanges and kind of caught Tank with some good shots that he visibly, like, yo, I got to reset?
Teddy Atlas, a voice respected across the boxing world, sees something unique in Davis, not just the knockout power, but the brain behind it. According to Atlas, Davis's biggest weapon is his patience and his ability to adapt on the fly. He doesn't force chaos, he reads the room, waits for his moment, and strikes like a surgeon. That kind of mental versatility separates great fighters from legends. If Davis leans into that ability, makes smart adjustments, and avoids emotional traps, Roach may find himself outmaneuvered in ways he didn't expect. Atlas believes that IQ, not brute force, might be the key to Davis reclaiming control of this rivalry.
Get to us, but we're going to frustrate him. He doesn't get frustrated. He takes his time. He's deliberate. A lot of times at the beginning, people thought he was just a seek and destroy missile. They thought he was just a guy that got to you. And they thought that he would get over anxious. He don't get over anxious. He takes his time. He slowly crosses closes those gaps. Inch by inch, step by step. And then he gets...
That wraps it up for today's breakdown. The rematch is brewing with tension, stakes, and narrative twists. Will Davis reclaim his crown? Or is Roach ready to seize it for good? Stay tuned, we're just getting started.